Okay, we're back. And we have with us the Council St. James, and we are looking at a proposal from the House. So,
At St. James Office of Legislative Counsel.
And I'll frame first. Great. So the goal for this first one is, you pointed out that this is a lot of definitions to put in statute instead of through rulemaking. That makes sense. And there's a lot of things that are sort of up in the air right now that it would be helpful to have definitions clear on in the interim. And so what we basically have here is we set rulemaking in progress. And we have these definitions standing in until rulemaking is complete. And so are clear that these definitions that are in statute should not guide rulemaking. Rulemaking should happen in its own independent, separate branch universe.
where's this?
And Beth will
Okay.
make my
Okay.
very sloppy language.
Okay.
My
Okay.
sloppy language.
Oh, you're going to go concept by concept.
I think so.
Okay.
That's better for the brains.
Okay, so. Section A is just the definitions section. Which was previously 29A in the House passed version of 951. There have been no changes from the House passed language. Then if you go to the bottom of page 2, section B requires the state board to adopt rules to establish definitions for the same terms contained in section A. And states explicitly on line 7 that the definitions adopted in rule pursuant to this section may differ from the definitions contained. Ooh, and there should be an 11 there, 16 VSA, section 11. And then section C is a prospective repeal of definitions in statute on the July 1 following the effective date of rules adopted pursuant to section B of this act.
Thanks.
Again, we're mid-school year for. Okay.
Great. And then the second concept is taking the topping off section, leaving the prohibition on charging tuition in excess of the foundation formula once a formation formula is enacted. Removing our original proposal around fees and turning that into a report, and then making a repeal of this tuition, this prohibition on topping off section contingent, meaning that that section would be repealed if the report comes back with evidence that secondary schools are more expensive, and so topping off would be needed. And we did not act on it. So Beth, will you now make it sound good?
So section D on page 3, line 7 is the amendment to 828 that was very similar to what the House passed. It just removes any reference to fees. So it's a prohibition on charging tuition above the amount paid by a sending district pursuant to section 823. This section, this language would be contingent on the foundation formula taking effect. So it would be the base plus weights. So no paying tuition on top of what the school receives from the district, which is going to vary by student. Section E requires the agency to come back to you all with a report on fees. So information on fees charged by public schools, information on fees charged by independent schools, and any recommendations for guardrails on fees. And then if you jump all the way back up to section C, which starts on page 3, page 2, line 19, subsection B of this section repeals subsection E, which is the tuition cap language, if the cost factor foundation formula report required pursuant to section 45A of Act 73 contains evidence that it costs more to educate students in grades 9 through 12, but the General Assembly has failed to enact legislation to add a secondary student fee.
So basically, if there is evidence that there is need for the topping off and we don't accommodate that somewhere. So those are, I think, all of our proposals. The pieces that still are,
We had talked, I thought, about.
Can I ask that
Yes,
question? I'm sorry.
Okay,
sorry,
go ahead.
Just draft, I think you did this for shorthand purposes, but is it weird, the section A, section B, section C, section?
Oh, yes,
D?
no, these would all be hopefully instances of amendment.
Okay.
But I don't get that kind of time.
No, I figured you did it to do it quickly,
Yes.
because I was like, this doesn't look the same as it
No,
usually
I would
does.
insert them into, so, this would probably be section 29C or something like that.
Okay, okay, thank you. So,
thank you. That's
Carry on.
Your question.
I thought we talked about, but maybe I had only in my own head and helped you. About to the extent we look at fees in the context of the foundation.
Oh, yeah, we can change that. That was just an oversight on my part. Yeah. So the report should, and I can work with you on this, Beth,
Sure.
but just the report should all be framed in the context of when the foundation formula.
so under the foundation.
Yeah. If you want more sentences for that.
You want more sentences?
No, I think that covers it really. To just be clear that we're all talking about the perspective on the foundation formula.
Got it,
Yeah, and that the agency understands that.
got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, anyway, let's take it back. We'll take it back and we'll talk.
Okay. And so I think that, is it helpful for me to summarize what's left, or are you about to do that?
You go ahead and summarize it, and I'm just gonna check off my list here to make sure we are in agreement.
Okay, so I think we have offered, we've either acceded or offered language on everything, except for, we have not fully, discussed the date change. We have not, covered class size minimums. And, we need to get clear with ourselves on what we want to come back to you with on the school construction, legacy debt issue.
And so
And we can do that soon.
working on a proposal about class size minimums as well.
I think we can talk about it, but our position, I mean, first of all, class size minimums are not, it's not something that everybody's thrilled about putting in. However, they have been on the books now. They are in statute. We have school districts implementing them. And I think we have a really strong, and it's working. And it's not just about cost containment. It is about, this is educationally the right way to go forward. And I think we have sort of given districts the sort of tools and ability to start instituting that now. And I worry, and I think we're very concerned that backing off from that will send the wrong message about the importance of class size minimums as not just a cost containment measure, but as a way for districts to be able to, especially educational leaders, to say having scale in a classroom is important educationally as well.
And to summarize, that would be basically our position offer on that is to retain the House language on class size minimums. We also understand that this is a fairly important issue on the administration's checklist for the bill. And so we don't need to talk about that now. I just want to name it as an outstanding issue. And I think that is everything.
The school size language.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yes,
thank
we
you. Yes.
have agreed to accept your language.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. We've brought it up a number of times, and
So.
I'm sorry.
thank you.
Just to make sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't what you did. One was class size minimums.
Their position on class size minimums, our position on school size.
No, they agree.
Yeah, our position on school size.
So we're ceding to your position
Yeah,
on school.
no.
Yeah.
So the outstanding issues though.
Oh, class size minimums. The date, the big question of the date change And then CISAs, sorry, not CISAs, oh my God. School construction, legacy debt, I don't know what just happened with my mouth and the words in front of me. And all the things we just offered in writing.
On the map.
Yeah.
And we had a little side conversation about one. Mill River.
Yeah.
Why don't you put that into it?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, okay.
But I would say, remember that it's a four-town supervisory.
So we, I want to be conscious of the fact that, one of our staff members who is most involved in this piece, also somehow who has been barely involved in yield up until now, suddenly like a main feature on the yield bill negotiations. And so I just want us to be conscious of that, since those are essentially, basically every bill in the building has now closed the budget line field in this. So, I don't know if everyone sort of caught that in the air, but that's where we are now. And it's the same, this lovely staff crew on all of those. So, and the budget's basically closed. So here we are. When should we meet again? That's all. That was all my preface to when should we meet again?
And what are your, still meeting?
Yield is supposed to meet 8 minutes ago, but the Senate's, you're on the floor. So soon after that.
Is it safe for us to say 6? Okay,
Well, we can, sure.
yeah, okay.
Okay.